You have failed to realize that somebody else's chaos is not something that you have to take on. You failed to realize that, but I'm gonna help you realize some things. Now, before we get to moving forward, I want to clarify this does not take away from accountability, and this does not suggest that some people do not need to check themselves, okay? Also, I'm not diminishing empathy, having patience, right? Because that's one of my lessons, having patience. That's what I be dealing with. I be battling with the patience. But this does not discount any of that. So I want to make that clear because a lot of us like to rock into delusional. You know, we go into Deluluville. No, that's not what this is about. We should be listening to one another, holding space for one another, helping when we can and when it makes sense to help. Okay? We should have empathy. We should have a reasonable amount of sympathy. We should have discernment, and we damn sure should take accountability. And before we get any deeper, say your dear Jane, I am the exception to the rule letters. I don't give a fuck. We get that. It's always going to be an exception to the rule. We know the basic of mathematics, and we know ain't nothing really truly 100% around here. Thanks a lot. We got it. Captain Obvious. Hi, I am Racquel. I'm the Astral Oracle. Intuitive medium, Syrian starseed, multidimensional being. I read tarot. I've even created my own decks, and I've done a lot of other stuff even before this. But let's get into it. Let's get back to what I was talking about. You don't have to take on everybody else's chaos. Now, I don't believe in teaching conventionally. What I believe is sharing my experience or my perspective. And if you learn something from it, you get something from it, then cool. And if not, you're just sitting here listening to some shit I got to say like the rest of the motherfuckers on the app you see. Okay, so no harm, no foul. I feel like all of us are running a program. Now, I think that you have people that are infatuated with either the hero role or the villain, right? I feel like there's a huge infatuation around it. So much so we have Marvel and we have DC Comics and whatever else that comes after that, anime, whatever. You have heroes and villains. This is something that we really just like to play. Well, what I think a lot of people don't realize is as they romanticize those roles, they come with heavy, what some would call burdens. They're heavy roles. It might just be cool to be in the middle. But wherever you are on the spectrum, you're somewhere. You're somewhere on it. You're playing some kind of role, hero, villain, or other. And that's your software, that's your program you're running on. I believe it's like we're a projection. Source is projecting itself through various forms of expression, being nature, humanity, alien, archangels, angels, whatever the hierarchy. This is where the divine has broken off and played these roles, because what the fuck else would it do? It has infinite time. So why not get the bullshit going, right? What y'all think? Y'all have humor and interesting thoughts and creativity. Where the fuck you think it come from? No, I'm just, I thought I'd ask. So there are some people that every role that you see, every human you've encountered, they are here because they are. They're supposed to be. If it wasn't permissible, you wouldn't run into it. Okay. So let's get this out of our head. This notion of sin is crazy work, because if it was so horrible and you have this infinite intelligence, creativity that could just create and disintegrate or whatever, it would get rid of the shit if it wasn't supposed to be there. So get off of it, okay? Go ahead, release that tension, baby. You've been twisted the fuck up like a pretzel for years because you hold on to shit again you ain't got to hold on to. So I'm going to set you free today. Nature is the roadmap. Now, if you don't understand what I'm saying, that nature is the roadmap, the playbook, I'm going to give you an example. So like this morning, right, I was looking in my flower bed and I took my camera out, the phone, and Google Lens some of the plants. One plant was really good. You can make it like a tea of sorts, and it does a lot for the body. The plant right next to it was poisonous. It could, make you real ill, and take out your dog. You see, but they were right next to one another. So just like something beneficial and something toxic to you is in nature, nature is the playbook, and it shows you the duality of life. There is what you perceive to be good and what you perceive to be evil, and they sit right next to each other or on the opposite side of the spectrum from one another, the opposite way of the pendulum flowing. Okay, so you have to understand that as well. And this is why what you call evil does exist, because it just does. It is. I am. And just like myself, just like you, are necessary, so are good and evil, dark and light, good and bad. Just wanted to re-clarify that again. I'm not telling you what to do. This is not what I'm doing. I'm telling you how I think, how I see things. I'm sharing how I evolve my shadow work or whatever the fuck. And I'm just putting it out there for you to observe. If you get something from it, you do. If you don't, you don't. At the end of the day, our journeys are individual, and we should be listening to our internal guidance before we listen to anybody from on the other side of a damn screen. I'm just telling you that. So that's all I'm doing here. So you might be somebody you think you're the hero. Cool. You wear a cape and shit. The light beams on the moonlight and your ass is ready to go. Okay? Or you could be the villain. You out in the broad daylight kicking ass and taking names and don't give a fuck the police and everybody else. You could be that person too. It don't matter. If we had to be honest, we know that some of you motherfuckers out there are a menace, pure just diabolical, just from menace to diabolical to just And you could be somewhere in the middle, somewhere on the spectrum, as we all are. And so you happen to run into the opposite of you. You happen to run into a character that kind of conflicts with what you got going on. Okay, just know this, to save yourself some stress, baby. Just realize that's their shit. Like, whatever that shit is that they got going on, that's them. And see, sometimes what people will do, their programming, they will kind of get out of sync with their programming and not really know what's going on, and then they start projecting. You see what I'm saying? Then they start making you labeling you shit that's not what it is. But because they're projecting, because they're not accepting things as smoothly, they're projecting. Now, some of you motherfuckers are toe up. A lot of us are. You be on the bullshit. I need to let you know. But there are some people that ain't fucking with nobody. But yet it's people always feel like they are. I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of antagonist energy between the two we don't see. But yeah, so my thing is, don't be delusional, be accountable, bitch. But at the same token, if you know you ain't on that type of time that they saying you on, baby, don't adopt their program. That's some shit they run and ain't got shit to do with you. And it don't make them a bad person. That's just the software that they're running off of. Apple has a software, Microsoft has a software, and all the rest of the motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? It's different software. It's not to say that the other one ain't shit or somewhat superior. It's just different. Your software might not, you know how some programs can't transfer? Your software doesn't transfer to their software. So y'all ain't got no business being around each other. And that comes with discernment. But I mean, if you can stand this, what you seem to be a dysfunctional motherfucker, if you can deal with it, fucking deal with it. Just when they get to being on that bullshit, when they start tripping, man, that's your shit, dog. You work it out. Work it out, sweat it out, roll it out, nigga. I don't know. Fall out. I don't give a fuck what you gotta do. Call 911, but call it on yourself. Don't call it on me. Call it on yourself, but I'm gonna let you go through it. You know what I'm saying? Some people gotta take themselves through there. Most often, that's what's going on. We're taking ourselves through there. And we're pulling other people in this story that we've concocted in our head based on the software that we're running. And when we discern to realize that a program in our software has caught a virus and is defective and we don't want to deal with it anymore, then we usher it out. Okay, we get the spam where needed for that, and we usher that programming out. And we adopt a new one. We upgrade. But hell, I mean, if you ain't doing no upgrades, baby, you know what happens after a while. So all is a choice. But I'm just trying to help y'all look at shit differently, because we be out here stroked the fuck out. We be sick and ate up. And it's because we have adopted too much people's software. We have tried to download some shit that's not compatible with ours, and you never needed to in the first place, man. You just here observing this motherfucker. They too crazy. Get the fuck on. If they too crazy, but now, observe from them. You can learn some shit. You can learn some shit about them. You can learn some shit about you. But if your software is totally incompatible, then get the fuck on. I hope that made sense. Crazy enough, it made sense to me. So, that's good enough for me. I'll settle on that. Our courts adjourned, bitch. I have come into judgment. I sentence myself making sense on this bitch. That's right. I really feel that. I feel whatever the fuck I just said, but yeah. That's why we be ate the fuck up. This is why we be upset. This is why we be depressed. This is why we be mad. Man, you steady trying to adopt some software that's incompatible, or you don't understand what we here to do, and you in conflict with that. Just watch this motherfucker. Like, yeah, that's what that look like. That's what a crash out is. Oh wow, shit. Damn, like people do really take their personality on the road and drive with it. Yeah, people be out here wilding on the road. They reckless in life. They reckless on the road. That makes sense. I mean, it's inconvenient for me because I don't want a bitch to hit me and I don't want to pay no insurance increase. But the fact still remains that motherfucker gonna be on the road. And nothing you can do about it. I'm just hearing motherfuckers cut up all day on 8 Mile. They just be cutting up. Just, baby, 8 Mile is somewhere to go from wherever you coming from and get wherever you going. Not all that shit. This not the drag strip. They don't give a fuck though. They don't care. 8 Mile, they on the lodge with it. And quiet as kept, I mean, it's not just us, man. 696, let me tell you something. 696, the way our Caucasian brothers and sisters be driving on that bitch is outrageous. It's fucking outrageous. And the thing about it is, it just be a lot. It's a lot. And then, 696 got them hard ass turns. You know what I'm saying? You damn near doing 2 wheels and people driving this bitch like it's Mario Kart. It's like, it's a wild place. And then 75, like you got to pray the whole way because something can fly off that bitch and hit your windshield. And that's hundreds of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, I'm going to tell in 94, baby, I ain't coming. I have told my son, let me tell y'all something. You see how I didn't went on a rant, y'all. Just stay with me. I have told my son, I said, let me tell you something, baby. Better men have died on 94. I'm certain of it. I've never heard of it now. I'm going to tell you the truth, but something deep down in my heart, I believe it. And I said, and I think you're a great young man, but I'm letting you know that better men, even greater than you, baby, has been taken out on that 94. And my advice to you is, if you got to take 94, don't even go. I mean, you do what you want. You know what I'm saying? I try to say that 94, it's got to be a short distance, okay? And you know what I'm saying? And I'm calling on God the whole way because I don't know. 94 stresses me out. And then my first interaction with the shit was smelling like the trash. What would you call that? Factory, whatever the fuck it was. It's not there no more, I heard, but the trash factory, like smelling that shit used to, my God. I said, Daddy, what is that? What is that smell? It's horrific. He was like, oh yeah, that's the trash. What? So that alone, and then the way y'all drive on that bit, like, I feel like they don't give a fuck. I don't know. So, different freeways have their different shit going on. Southfield, I don't know. I like Southfield and the Lodge, though. I'm going to be honest with you. And they're ignorant as fuck, too. So, the truth is, there is no civil freeway around here now that I think about it. I will say this, though. Whatever the fuck that shit is that you take off Grand River, like when you take an 8 Mile and you bust a right on Grand River and shit like that, and you take it all the way down to that freeway over there that kind of past that Target in Farmington. I like that bitch. That shit is like the back way. I don't know. I love a good ass back route. You know what I'm saying? Dodging this crazy shit. Like that's how I like to dip and dodge around this bitch. That's how I like to travel. But yeah. One more thing before I get the fuck up off of here, y'all. One thing, I love the hot weather. But you know how everything has its pros and its cons. We didn't got all off. Still remember, just to go back to stay on task. Don't be adopting these other people's software and the bullshit they got going on. But yeah, so about the warm weather though. Every weather is going to have its pros and cons. Now, my favorite time of the year is when it gets warm. So spring and summer is my favorite, but I deal with spring. Fall and winter, it can basically kiss my ass. But spring and summer, yeah, that's my shit, right? But one thing about warm weather that's stressful to me, one thing, oh shit, baby, I miscalculated. Some of the things. First off, flies, fuck you. Okay? And it's like you could smell good. You would think that flies would only fuck with like somebody funky. No. You could smell good. I mean, just jumped your ass out the shower, man. Your shit, you shining. You polished out the bitch. And here come this funky, stupid, stinking ass fly. And the same thing for the mosquitoes, baby. Them old federally working for the blood collection, Red Cross, allegedly for entertainment purposes. Them motherfuckers right there gets on my nerves. Mm-hmm. That. And I know it was some other shit. What's the other shit? Oh, allergies be rough. Allergies be rough. But I was just thinking, what if allergies was a call for people to get more in touch with nature to balance that out? Because you know, over time, exposure to these things, you build up a tolerance. What if the people with really bad allergies, and this is why I be having my ass out here when I can. Because that's really my thing, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, I love the compost. I be like in dealing with my plants. I like to do a lot of shit outside. Okay, I'm vested. I like to feed the birds. Like I like to do a lot of shit. I'm active out here outside. That's where I dwell. But I'm just saying though, I feel like some of y'all, and I'm not saying this across the board because I'm sure there is some poison ivy figurine around this bitch that don't have no allergies and they just in touch with nature. Them and nature's locked in. But I do feel like those who have these allergies, it's like a call to you, like get your ass in nature. You need to get back grounded and connected. Look at you over there, you're allergic to yourself. Crazy motherfucker, I don't know. But yeah, I love y'all. You know what? If you're interested, some of my deepest content is on Patreon. You can join there for free. But I also have Luminous Healing Circle, right? I think some part of this I was supposed to get to the healing, but baby, this has become long-winded, so I have to end it here, unfortunately. But yeah, if you want to join my Facebook, Luminous Healing, fuck with me. Okay? All right, y'all. I just was shooting this shit a little bit. A happy Father's Day. Hey, happy Father's Day. We need them fathers out there. We appreciate them, okay? They out here fixing shit or whatever. Yeah, they out here paying some bills. Those that don't, fuck y'all. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, life gonna deal with you with your funky ass out here making kids. You ain't taking care of them, and you funky head ass women to do the same shit. You know. Now you there. Of course, there's exceptions to every rule. So please don't dear Jane me with the motherfucking your story. That's the exception to the rule. We all know that it exists. So calm the fuck down. But for the most part. Yeah, fuck y'all. We ain't thinking about y'all. That ain't what it's about. Okay? All right. I'm out.